Hello, I'm actor Skip Argyle. You may remember me from such informational films as Stop Signs, Beacons of Safety, and Crabs, The Lurking Menace. Join me now as we uncover the fascinating history behind absinthe and its interesting rituals. Absinthe originated in the canton of Neuchâtel in Switzerland around 1792 as an all-purpose patent medical remedy of French doctor Pierre Ordinaire. Ordinaire's recipe was passed on to the Henriade sisters of Cuvée. It was later acquired by Major Dubier in 1797, who opened the first absinthe distillery in Cuvée. In 1805, a second distillery was built in Pont-à-l'Air, France, under the company name Maison Pernod Ricard. Absinthe's popularity grew steadily through the 1840s, when it was given to French troops as a malaria treatment. When troops returned home, they brought their taste for absinthe with them. Numerous artists and writers who lived in France were noted absinthe drinkers and featured it in their works. Émile Zola, Vincent van Gogh, Edouard Manet, Amadeo Modigliani, Arthur Rimbaud, Guy de Maupassant, Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, Paul Verlaine, Pablo Picasso, Oscar Wilde, and even Ernest Hemingway. By the 1860s, it became so popular in bars, bistros, cafes, and cabarets that the hour of 5 p.m. was called l'heure verte, or the green hour. By the early 1900s, absinthe became popular in Spain, New Orleans, and the Czech Republic. Spain and Portugal never banned its production, and consumption in these countries has never ceased. By the early 1900s, spurred by the temperance movement and the winemakers' associations, absinthe was publicly associated with violent crime and social disorder. In 1905, the final straw in the case against absinthe appeared in the form of a Swiss man by the name of Jean Lanfrey. Lanfrey murdered his family and tried to kill himself after drinking absinthe. The fact that Lanfrey was an alcoholic who had consumed much more than his usual 2 glasses of absinthe was either overlooked or ignored. The prohibition of absinthe was written into Swiss law in 1907. The United States would follow the ban in 1912. Distilled absinthe is produced in a form similar to high-quality gin. The botanicals are macerated in the already distilled alcohol before being distilled one or more times to impart complexity and texture to the beverage. The first distillation produces a colorless liquid known as a blanche or la blue absinthe. Traditional absinthe takes its green color from chlorophyll, which is present in some of the herbal ingredients during the second maceration. The natural coloring process is considered critical for absinthe aging since the chlorophyll remains chemically active. The chlorophyll plays the same role in absinthe that tannins do in wine or brown liquors. During its early history, some unscrupulous makers of absinthe used toxic copper compounds to create the legendary green verte color, leading in part to its negative reputation. Naturally colored absinthe is typically bottled in dark, UV-resistant bottles due to its fragility to light. It should be stored in a cool, dry place away from heat and light. For best results, never refrigerate or freeze. This will cause crystallization inside the bottle. The traditional method of serving absinthe involves a specially designed slotted spoon placed on a glass containing a shot of absinthe. Ice-cold water is then poured or dripped over a sugar cube. 1 part absinthe, 3 to 5 parts water. The resulting milky appearance is called the louche, French for opaque. This French method releases herbal aromas and flavors and brings out subtleties originally overpowered by the anise. The alternative Bohemian method uses fire. In this method, the sugar cube is soaked in alcohol, usually more absinthe, and then set ablaze. The flaming sugar cube is then dropped into the glass, igniting the absinthe. Finally, a shot glass of water is added to douse the flames. This tends to produce a stronger drink compared with the French method. In addition to drinking absinthe using the French and Bohemian methods, it was also used as a common cocktail ingredient in both the United Kingdom and the United States. One of the most famous absinthe cocktails is Ernest Hemingway's Death in the Afternoon. Absinthe has been frequently and incorrectly described in modern times as being hallucinogenic. In the 1970s, a scientific paper mistakenly reported that thujone contained in ground wormwood was related to THC, the active ingredient in cannabis. Perhaps this scientist was spurred on by the stories of absinthe's powerful psychoactive properties as related by the two famous artists Toulouse-Lautrec and Vincent van Gogh. It would appear that even with the overwhelming evidence against it, the legacy of absinthe as a mysterious, addictive, and mind-altering drink will continue. Thank you for joining us. For Matco Productions, this has been actor Skip Argyle.